Okay, so excellent. So that is online. Very good. Let's close all that. Good. There. Excellent. All right, so I have to be able to think. So I gotta turn down music enough that I can think. All right, excellent. So we have that, and we confirmed YouTube and Twitch, both online. Excellent. So that's a good start. Then we're going to take that one. Okay, well, that works. Very good. Yep, we got that. Excellent. We're going to mute those two, which is good. All right, good. So, what are we doing today? Well, we have to continue making this interface that gives us options in SQLite to talk to SQL Server. So, how do we do that? Well, let's play and see where we're sitting. So when we create a new interface, we got a break in it here. So we're going to take the breakout. Continue, we'll take that breakout too. We'll continue. Okay. So now inside of the screen, now that we're done with that, let's see, does the screen update? Strange, it's not updating in the stream. Huh. Wonder why it's not updating. Oh, I see it. Okay. So it's got another window capture, essentially. So let's do there we go. Okay. So now we have the other window on top of it also being captured, which is fine. So in here, we should have a list of servers. We don't have a list of servers. We have no servers showing up. And so in order to find out what servers the system has, we go to the servers list, which we have that pixel on my screen. We have enough servers. Okay, we have no databases, and this one is supposed to be something else, but I don't even know what it's supposed to show. The thing says schemas. So let's fix a few things. So the first thing we gotta fix, clearly, is my broken window capture. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. All right. So now that we've fixed the broken window capture, if we open up the servers list, we can see we have no list. So let's start there. In our features, we go to our server list and we check out what we have. We have nothing on the page. Okay. So how can we fix that quickly? We go to our templates. We can find our list view template, and we're just going to take everything after line 9. We're going to copy it over to the server list. And so we'll just do that. Now, nothing's going to appear yet because there's a problem. We haven't given it a view model definition. So we're going to make this namespace appear as view models. There we go. Okay, just like that. And now, once we define it as having that view model, everything appears. Very good. So then we can go to the definition of that event, which is in the use code behind. So we'll go to the template use code behind and select everything after line 24. And so if we go to our views code behind inside of our SQL Server list, which is here, we can just take after this line and paste. Okay. So this class name is going to be replaced, and that's in the constructor, and then same with this one here, which is the view model. So this says SQL Server list view model, right? As a new view model, we have the constructor of the list view, which is going to initialize, and then its data context is going to be set to the view model, which is set up here. So our constructor section is done. Then we have our methods. When we hit the apply filter button, that one happens. The clear filter button, which doesn't seem to do anything. So we're going to say VM clear filters. But we could actually just do filters, and it doesn't seem to have a clear filters option. So let's double check on that. But we'll put a break here for now. Clear filters. And we want to fix this in our template so when we use it later, it also comes in. So let's go to our methods. We have clear filters. Apply filter just says get matching result. But this is going to be part of the filters template. For our methods, we have populate, we have clear all filters, which is part of our filters class. So clear all filters essentially is going to go through all of the fields and set them to essentially nothing. So we would then say filter value text field equals null. Okay, and we'd have to repeat that for any number of other filters in here. This means we have the method of clear all filters. And inside of the button clear filter, we could look at the view model, we could look at the filters, and then we could tell it to use the function, the method clear all filters. Okay, so that should work. And then page unloaded has nothing in it yet. Combo box, this is just a general combo box selection change. Well, there's nothing called combo box, that's a bad name. So we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, page view. Now this one says button go to other list, click. Well, that's because we literally have a button called go to other list. And that's on the side pane. So inside of SQL Server filters then, which is gonna be here, we should have a method. We don't, so we're gonna go down to our templates filters. Okay, we're going to pick up all the methods, filters. We're going to put them in here. Okay, so now we have populated filter options, clear all filters. And this one says filter value text field, but I don't know if we have that one. This says we do. So we would actually just say text field to make sure that we name these appropriately. Text field filters. Okay, and then all I have to name that appropriately. So we can switch the words text field with SQL Server name. Okay, that filter value SQL Server name field, and then clear would be filter value SQL Server name, which is null. Save. Okay. So clear all filters should be then accessed in the clear filters button here. And this is in SQL Server list, so we'll go to the click event, and then we'll simply say VM filters dot clear all filters, like so. Okay. And then apply filter says get matching results, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Just a one-line call in the view model, and the view model takes care of the rest. Okay. So that looks good, and then the combo box selection change, that was default, that goes away as well. And this one says nav to templates new, which we don't want. We want nav to SQL Server new. Okay, pretty simple. All right, now we did our list. We did our list view code behind, and then we're going to need our list view model, which is this one. Okay, which should already have a bunch of stuff put together in it. So we did that part before. So let's look at what's going to be displayed on the list, which is going to be a data table. So SQL Server doesn't have a data table view at the moment, so we're going to create one. Okay, this is to add a class. We actually want to add a page. So we're going to say add a page, SQL Server page. Not page. Call it data grid view. Okay. So our data grid view, and we'll go down here to the data grid view, which is this one. Basically take everything from this, same examples, right? And same sort of thing, we'll just grab from here down, go to the data grid view, and we'll paste that in like so. Okay, and then this is not SQL Server. Yeah, we're going to then do features, SQL servers, view models. Okay. Simple enough. That then sends bind to page title, but it says we don't have one, probably because the view model doesn't exist, which is fine. So we're going to add a class up here. We're going to call this SQL Server Data Grid View Model. Okay, same sort of thing. We'll go to our template for our data grid, and we will pick up everything after this space. Down, close that, paste. Okay, so we have our notification, and then we're going to swap out the constructor name. Okay, simple enough. And then in this case, again, we have things like template. In this case, we're going to switch it for SQL Server. Okay, current document, SQL Server, detail page, and the page title now exists. And then this is SQL Server's actions. And we're just going to switch this with SQL Server underscore with the current document. And that should fix a lot of this once we have access to that. So now we do. We have the actions, we have the list of records that we're going to use. We have the selected record that we're going to use. Okay, and then we have the list, which is going to equal the actions, and it says results and object reference is required for the non-static method. Okay, so then we just do actions, SQL Server actions, right? No. Oh, right, we just did a lowercase actions like that, and that is that one. Okay, so this is the list, that's the record that we notify, and we should be good to go there. Okay, save that. All right, is that error free? Okay, it's not. And it says something is SQL Server. Yep, that's this one up here. So these two go away. Again. Okay, property data context cannot be empty, which is correct because we wanted the data grid view model to work there. So now we build it again. Okay. This one doesn't contain a page loaded, which is fine. So this is the code behind on the data grid page, which we can go to our template and grab that, using this. And this is our actual one. Okay. I'll simply replace this section and this section. And that's our constructor, our page loaded event, and our results. Double click method. We build it again. Okay, now it's successful. We should see the designer update. Now we have text and integer field, but this no longer says templates. We would have to replace the word template with SQL Server within the current document. Boom. Okay, so that should correct now to list SQL servers. And this says record ID, but we don't have a record ID. We have a SQL Server ID, followed by a SQL Server name, followed by a SQL Server description. And we can put the description header in, along with the SQL Server name header. And then we would just call it a Server ID field. Okay. And yeah, we'll label it content SQL Server ID number. Okay. Now with those corrections, does that still build? It says it still builds. Does it get to the page and display the record? So let's go to the data, let's go to here. Okay, we see nothing, but we're going to try and go here. And this brings us to the new page. We can add a new server, and we have a name field. But we probably want more information than that, like the description, right? So this is a new SQL Server, and then you'll notice our continue button is not quite right. Neither is our cancel button. They don't seem to have like padding around them. So we're going to have to fix that. So a couple things to fix on that screen. And we're going to go over to our new view. Okay, so this says it's part of cancel, but it's inside of this border called footer. But the footer border doesn't have a style to it. So we're going to apply a style. Okay, we're going to call it page footer. And that gives us the padding that we need and the spacing. And it probably takes care of the background and the mid height, like that. Okay, so that's pretty simple. All right. So after our server name, we probably want a label and a field for description. Okay. Can't duplicate names, so if we remove the name, it's there. And then we can give it description. Okay. Now we have a description field. Now we have a way to do an input tall box, so we can give it a little more information and make it clear to the user that's what it is. Over on the instructions side, we have a page section header, and then we can enter in some instructions below it. Okay. Instructions, good. Content will simply say, fill in the SQL Server name and description. Okay. Click continue to save the record. Or click continue to save the record. Simple enough. Right, let's make sure the capital on there, make it look good. Okay, that seems to work. It has instructions. Excellent. Now, the screen's kind of tall, and the server name has to be required. So we would then change the label to required. Okay, it has the red asterisk on the far side. Now the continue button here would then do a style. Okay, and that would be button continue, just like so. We will then name this as button continue. Okay, I'll give it a click event. Button continue. We would then go in here and we'll notice the new view code behind doesn't seem to have anything. So we can go to the new template code behind. That also doesn't seem to have anything. So we want to fix this on both sides. So let's go to the new template. We'll go to the button here, which has the right styling, but it doesn't have a name. So then we would say button continue, give it a click event, like so. The definition. Okay, so this is a view, and we want to give the view a view model. So we would have to do something like templates new view model equals new. Okay, and then I would say data context equals VM, like so. And this is our region we can label as a constructor. Okay, and the region, we can minimize it pretty easily. Another region to mark methods. Okay, we do have to mark an end of the region as well with an end region tag. There we go. Okay, so we have a continue and we have a cancel. And in this case, we can say VM actions dot add template, right? And or can we just do VM dot save record, like so? Yep, VM dot close pop-up, like so. Excellent. So save record, what does that look like? That looks like this, and it basically says, hey, if it adds successfully, then close the pop-up. And for closing the pop-up, it basically says, yeah, close the pop-up. That's pretty straightforward. Okay. So now that we have those pieces in here in the template, we want to do the same thing in actual code behind one. So we'll save those. This is the SQL Server new code behind. Okay. Paste that. And then we'll take this, paste that in there, give it the right view model. Excellent. And we have those. Now this is using template view models. We don't want any confusion, so we have a regular one. Now, it's always a practice I do is I leave the system ones on top, and then I'll use the local ones right below that, just so it's a little clearer for me. Okay, take out that. And in this case, we have the class, we have the constructor, and we have the methods. Pretty simple. Okay. So now we have that. Now, if we check the page design height, doesn't need to be 450. It can be like 350 or 250 or whatever. Okay, 250 works. It's fine. You can probably even make it not as wide, so like drop it to 600 or something. Pretty simple. That one works. Okay. Now, so these, their width is set to automatic, which is fine. So they're like 78 and change. So pretty simple. And that should put it into it. So let's close all our tabs, run it again. And in this case, we can go to our data menu. Okay, servers, add a server, do a test, hit continue, apply. We're not getting any results here. Why aren't we getting any results? Did we actually save the results? No, results did not save. Okay, so that didn't save at all. I don't think. So let's go find out why. So we go to SQL Server New, right? We hit continue. That does our continue click, which, wait, that's reversed horribly. Okay. Cancel is not supposed to be save record. Cancel is supposed to be close pop-up. Continue is supposed to be save record. Okay. Always good logic. Let's make sure we have that fixed in the template as well. So template, new item, code behind. Cancel is save. No, cancel is close. Continue is save. Thank you. Okay, so now that that is changed, we can go to our data, servers, add a new, pop in a quick name, a description, we can save it, and we still don't see anything. So checking the table, I actually do see it in the table, but I don't seem to be getting anything here. Why not? Let's find out. So SQL Server list, view, apply filters, apply filter, yep. Click, go to definition, this one says get matching results, correct. Select filter, go to definition, yep. Form actions, so it says it's going to open. This says it's going to do select count from count records. This is SQLite table name, which actually should be like a view name, but let's do that there. And view table name, go up here, that's T-SQL Server. Just find SQL Server view name, and we probably need one for SQLite view name. So we'll call it SQLite view name, and we'll do the SQL Server. Similar to the SQL Server if we use the server side of things, but let's find this. Okay, so if we run this, it should tell us what we get. I know I have one record in there. So we're gonna, on the event, go to the list, data, servers. Okay, we got it here. Okay, let's go down, continue. Records matching filters. It does say that there is one record matching filter. So let's let it continue. The results says it has one record now. Okay, one item. Okay, so we know that we have an item. It says I have one matching record, but we just don't see the matching records down there. Okay, so why don't we see the matching records down there? We have our data grid, right? This is list SQL servers, right? We have page loaded event, go to definition. Yep, we have get data, go to definition. List SQL servers, which is here. Okay. Yeah, that part should be good. We have the server ID, the server name, and the server description. So somehow the data grid is not getting the data. So yeah, doesn't. Okay, why not? So apply filter. Let's close that. List. Apply filters. Click. Go to definition. Get matching results. I'll put a break here. Definition. Now I'm pretty sure we got the results. My only concern then is the list view when we populate. Actions, list page fields. We have filters because the data grid, it says SQL Server ID, server name, and description. But when we're in here, I don't know that we saw that. List page fields, page display options. Go to definition. List page fields has 10 references. List view model here. Okay, so this is looking at templates data grid, which it shouldn't be. So let's replace the word templates with SQL Server underscore in the current document to SQL Server data grid view like that. Okay, and then we'll notice that these templates up here we don't to reference, so we're going to take those out. So now we have the two using statements that we want that are specific to this. We're going to move them down here. These are just the project, okay, like that. Here to understand what's going on. All right, so we have SQL Server actions, list fields, filters, create page display options, which I think is the problem because we needed to display the SQL Server data grid, not the other one. And that's the selected page to display. So we go to our data, servers, okay. And now we have a server ID with a server name. Now, if we double click there and the go-to record actually is null, that's a problem, right? Go-to record needs to have an ID number. Otherwise, it can't go to the record. This can't be null, essentially. So check values is basically saying if the go-to record is null, and if go-to record SQL Server ID is 0, but in this case server ID is null, so we would just do another one of if server ID is null, then return, or server ID is 0, then return, and we won't get that weirdness, but we want to fix that in our templates actions. Okay, so when we do our construction on our fields, but our methods, navigation methods specifically, nav2 detail, right? We have our check values. Same thing applies here. Okay. If the record ID is null, then don't do anything. Don't go anywhere because that doesn't make sense. Okay. That's all. We fix that issue. Okay. So if we go to our data, our servers list, we have our break still. We'll continue. We have that break. We'll remove that and continue. We then have a record here. Okay, so this says object is not set to an instance of an object. And it's trying to say the view model, which is null. So the view model here is null. Why is the view model there null? Well, if we go to our SQL Server detail view, we'll notice nothing's there. It has no view model. It has no data context. So we need to build up the detail form. So we're going to close out everything else. And we'll want to go to our template, our detail template like this. Okay, good. And copy everything that's in the detail template past a certain point. I think I did it here. Okay, go back up. Excellent. And then we have local, and then we have this. So we're actually going to take everything about here and paste that back in, and then put in the view models like so, and then detail view model like that. Okay, save. And if we go to our loaded event, we'll notice that we don't have a code behind on our detail table, so we'll go to the code behind here. Same concept, just take everything from there. Okay, good. Then we'll swap out this and this. Okay, moving templates reference. Make this reference down like so. Okay, and this says view model, SQL Server detail, populate combo boxes. I don't think there's any combo boxes to populate, so this is probably going to come up. And then this says delete underscore template versus update underscore template. So we're going to then redo it for underscore template to be underscore SQL Server. And we'll just replace that, and now those actions line up. Okay, so we have those pieces now. Excellent. I don't see. That's fine. Yep. All right, very good. So that should work, I think. Cool. Okay, let's see what else we got. So, does that build? All right, it builds. That part works. So now what this means is I have to go to the list, double click on a record, and it doesn't show anything. Which is exactly what I didn't want to have happen. So if we go to SQL Server detail, which is here, okay, this should be bound view models to detail view model. Yes, certainly should be. And the actions, when we try and go to something, and we get a SQL Server model that we're trying to obtain, which is all of this. So we're going to put one here, put one here. This one doesn't seem to have any information, which tells me when we're in the data grid, does this one, we select the record and we double click it, we would want to go to selected record. We'll go to selected record basically says, hey, if the selected server is not null, then nav to SQL Server detail based on the selected SQL Server. Okay, so we have that. So this is that part. And then it says current record is go to record, tracking field is loaded, and this is navigation. Utility main window goes to a page. Okay, this is the SQL Server detail VM, which is that I get a context, and then it is setting the record I need to go to, which would be the record I have selected here. So why wasn't it showing then? So when we were in here, nothing was displayed because the current record doesn't have a text field. Okay. That's super fun. Okay. So text field's not there, which means we can then take SQL Server name is there. And that's, we're going to then do SQL Server name. Okay, which makes much more sense. And then we can take the label and the text block, put another one down. We can just put down a description. Okay, SQL Server description, just like that. And then we don't have an integer field or decimal field or date field or foreign ID field. So we're going to take all those out. And then the ID field up top here is actually record ID, which then we will change for SQL Server ID in the document like so. Okay. And the only one that actually didn't need to have happen that way was text box record ID, like that. Yeah. So dot record ID would have changed, but that's fine. So text box with an ID, which is a style for record ID. The only thing I need to fix with that is the ID itself was super high, like vertical was at the top. So we have the ID label, we have a border, we have a scroll viewer as the content host, and then we can do a vertical alignment centered, I guess, maybe. We want to vertical content alignment, we'll do center. Save. All right, let's try that again. And we go to our data, servers. Okay, we have a record. Go here. This one actually has a record this time. Good. And now it says 1. It says 1 at the top, and it actually has the server name. It has no description, which is fine. It has the record tracking information back there. But this field is all the way at the top, which doesn't make any sense. So let's see what we can do to change that. If I move the window off to the side, move that down to the bottom of this chair, and we have vertical alignment center. There we go. That's better. And then if we take out content alignment, no, that put that back in. Okay, no, now we broke it. We're gonna refresh it, and hopefully that'll come back up. Okay, put that back on screen. We're gonna minimize it a little bit. Data, SQL servers, excellent. Open this one up. We'll take the break off this because we do know it gets there. And we have the server, we have the ID, it's actually vertically laid out, and this shouldn't allow any edits until we hit the word edit, and then we can make our edits, and we can do our edit to our description. Now we can hit save, and it says no changes were detected, which is a problem, because changes should have happened. So how do we notify about changes? Well, we have these tracking fields, we have server name, and we've made the changes, and then what we would have to do is we'd have to say tracking fields dot mark dirty, like so. Okay, so if our name or our description gets changed, then we mark it dirty. Let's try that again. Data, servers, double click, edit, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, save. No changes were detected. All right, let's check that again. Oh, you know what? I think I know what happened, because if we close out of that, close out of this, close out of this. Okay, let's go to the model. we tell it to mark it as dirty. Let's go to the definition of that. It basically says if it's loaded and it's editable. And my guess is it's not loaded. So when we bring the record over here and nav to it, that's my guess, is that it's not loaded. Oh, loaded is true. Okay. Um, so when we hit edit, then does it make it editable the right way? Click. Yep. Make record editable. Go to definition. If it's loaded, then editable is true. Okay. So we would have to say both of these are true. And if loaded and editable are true, then dirty would also equal true. And when we're trying to determine to save it, where is that happening? So we go to our actions. Yeah. We have our get, we have our list, we have our select, we have our update. Okay, so we have check values. Basically say if is dirty is false, no changes detected. Really? Okay, well, update record should be this one. So it should be there. Okay, let's couple of breaks in here and see what happens. So we'll go to our data, we'll go to our servers. Okay, loaded is false, editable is false. We continue. Okay, just fine. We go here. Is loaded is now true. Right? Continue. Edit. Blah, blah, blah. Loaded is true. Editable is true. Dirty is now true. Wait a minute. It didn't set it. Go to definition. So, oh wait, that's interesting. So it basically says if dirty does not equal the incoming value, it notifies about property changes, but it never actually sets the property. So is dirty should now equal the value, but not this one, not the property, the field. Okay, so that's a problem. And that should be now fixed. Okay. Something. Okay. Is dirty is false. Is dirty is now true. Excellent. Record changes detected. Perfect. So record changes detected. That thing is there. So let's do notification text, which is this one. Turn app dirty notification text, and we can just say changes detected, unsaved. Unsaved changes detected. Perfect. Now, that is then used on the detail form. Is here. Okay. Visibility is visibility when dirty, right? But it doesn't seem to have a style affiliated with it. So we want to give it a style. And let's go with not instructions small, because that's kind of goofy, but even if we want instructions, but let's do definition. It is a text block style, and we're going to put it right here, call it changes detected. Yep. Okay. Text wrapping. And we'll set the vertical alignment. to center. We'll set the foreground to red. Okay, now that is not being used yet. There we go. Unsaved changes detected. Now you can't quite see it. Oh yeah, you can. All right, cool. So now it says record changes detected. Now it hasn't changed the text version of it yet to be unsaved changes, but we will refresh that. And we can go to our data, our servers, take off the break because we know what's happening now. And we'll open this up, take that off, continue. Okay, nothing changes, nothing changes. We hit edit, now we change it, we go to something else, unsaved changes detected. Okay, now the save button seems to have a transparent background, white background, so that needs to change a little bit, and it probably should have some sort of like a green border to indicate, changes. We'll hit save. Okay, and at this point in time, we'll hit continue, and it has a logic problem. So we'll hit pause, step out, step out. Yeah, get this out of the way slightly. Okay, where are we at? Well, it needs to have the string of this. Yeah. Okay. We'll go over to SQLite Studio, do a new date. There's a spacing issue for the set statement. Okay. Update SQLite. Go to definition. Yep. So this is inside of a SQL Server Actions, and it just says update, and it's missing an extra space here. So we probably need to find anywhere in the current project where this is used. Okay, so that has an extra space, extra space. This one doesn't have an extra space. We can put that one in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That has an extra space. Okay, this one doesn't. We can put one in. Lots of little spacing issues. Good. Save. All right, so let's. I think I know something else that's going on that's wrong, but we'll save all of that. Go to SQL Server Actions. Minimum physical structures, the properties and fields, SQLite methods. Okay, not create, not add, not delete. Get list SQL update. Yeah. Okay, so this says set update SQLite, which doesn't have a space, which is, the problem. But we would have to take this off of here, this off of here. We can simply put the comma in this space, and then not at the end of this one. Okay, so we will refresh that. But actually, I just realized this doesn't have a method to capture the description changes. Okay. So now we have it to mention the number of databases on the server. We don't actually need this one here because that one won't be updated by the user per se. So we have that. We have this. Okay. And then down here, we're going to add with a value. So this is updated by the username and updated timestamp, and this is the SQL Server name. And we will simply update that, and we'll take this out, like so. Okay, and then in this case, it then sets the isDirty to false because it's no longer dirty because we've saved the record if saving record. So the one place that this is being used is here. Let's rerun that. Servers here, edit, blah, 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 save. Okay, we have our record now. Okay, we have our new changes. Excellent, continue. No such column, SQL Server description. That would be a problem, wouldn't it? Okay, really? We do not have a column for SQL Server description. We do not. That is correct. So we're going to edit the table's structure to put one in. SQL Server description, text. Okay. Okay. And what we'll have to do then is inside of the SQL Server's actions, where we tell it to create the table, which is here, we have to set up the field, which is like this. Okay. And then we'll have to select like so, save it, refresh it. Okay. So, where are we at? Okay, interesting. Dashboard says there's 2 people on Twitch, but the other one doesn't say anything. So that's kind of neat. If you're here, tell me, I guess. So we will look at the dashboard, see if I can pick up on who's here. Just figure it is not quite accurate. That's not surprising. All right, so let's go ahead and make that screen bigger again. And all this means is we now should have the server here and the description, but we don't seem to have a description, even though I thought we gave it one. So we're going to give it one again. We're going to save those changes, continue. Okay, we'll go back to the list. We still don't get the description. All right, so let's find out why we don't get the description. Go to our actions and we say select here. This selects count records, this where statement, count. This is the select statement. Okay. Select is select SQLite. Go to definition. Just that here, and then it says give me the name and the description. Okay, which is fine. So it gives us a name and a description. And then down here, we're only assigning the name value. So now we can obtain the description value, like so. Save. Now let's try it again. So we go to our data, our servers, we have our name, and we have our description. That works. Now we have this right-hand pane, which has nothing in it. So we'll probably want to minimize that. But have that. So inside of a server, though, we can have multiple um, databases, right? So when we get information about the server, we probably want to get information about the databases, which is fine. We don't need to get all of those details from the list. We can certainly get those details when we navigate to it, which is fine. So these are weird because they're kind of floating with a bunch of extra space. So I think we're going to fix that as well. Let's close that. Let's go to our new page. Sorry, not our new page. Close all tabs. Detail page. Okay, this one. This is in bottom border only. Style. Okay, so border thickness 0.001. Okay, have our scroll pop-up viewer, and then we would basically say vertical alignment is center. All right, let's see if that works better. Data servers. Yeah, that looks better. They're not floating up in the sky anymore, which makes a ton of sense. So we're in our label input control style, and right now the foreground is system color. But in reality, we could make it not a black color, just to give some difference between the fields. But something that I'm also noticing is that the label is now lined up with the content in this case. So when we're looking at the text box, it says bottom border only. Border thickness of 0.001. Text box read only has okay, but text box input control. Let's see what we have. Input. Okay, so input has a padding of 2, and that would probably make sense. So when we're looking at read only, okay, drop in a padding property, and then bottom border only. Okay, slightly better. What about that label? Label input control has a padding of 5, which explains a lot about why it's not the same. Okay. Or it kind of lines up a bit better now. I think it's fine. Okay. So we have the label input control, foreground of that. Okay, cool. So let's stop that again. Now that we have improved styles on that and we can see it, that works for me. Call it basic data. Interesting. Mm, simple enough. Close that game. Excellent. So if we wanted another tab item to show, say, the list of um, databases within a server, we could do that. All right. So the next trick on this is we need to be able to filter servers that are selectable for interface creation. Because if they're not selectable, it doesn't matter that you have them on the list. You don't want to use them, like that test one. Like that's irrelevant. So when we go to our interface creation, we got this. We have a server. We have a null value, right, which is nothing, and then we have value. We have databases, right? In order to indicate that a server is selectable, uh, we would need databases. Those databases would need schema. Those schemas would need tables, etc. Um, that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, essentially for a server to be selectable, we would need a database. And if we pick on the database, you can see that our SQL Server appeared. And then we have our database and our description. And we can do the database name and our description is whatever. We can hit continue. Well, that was interesting. That's odd. Okay. Because the new pop-up was up for this one as a pop-up window when we attempted to add a database and close it. It closed the other window, even though this one's in a pop-up window. Aha. So it's interesting. Close the appropriate pop-up window. Okay. Well, if we went to our utilities and our navigation, and we said pop-up window, go to page, pop-up window, close. This is looking first for default. But is there a last? Last or default? Would that make more sense to close the most recent pop-up window you received? Unless I can pass a pop-up window into the close event to close it. Like find the current window I'm in, pass that to close event, so we close the right one. But if we're passing last one, then we would close the right one, right? So if we open this one and close it, it does close the right one now. Okay. Pick our server, we add our database. Okay. We do blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Continue. It closed, and now we have both those database options. Good. Nice and easy. So it closes last instead of first. If we wanted to close this, then we can close that. We can go to our history, close this, continue. Okay. And now in this case, it's kind of like trying to figure out like which server or which database, right? We have our date timestamps, which number 7 is like 1207. We have no server and no database. If we open this up, we don't see any data in here, probably because it didn't save before we closed. So for that particular one, we probably want to save as we go. Just makes more sense that way because I don't think we're actually saving it. So this one, we do a selection changed event, right? Value is SQL Server ID, go to definition, right? But this isn't marking it as dirty, so it wouldn't change. So now we can do tracking fields, mark dirty. Okay, that's under the SQL Server ID, and we will grab that. I'll go to the schema. Okay, and we have one inside the database region too. Okay, so we can close the server ID, the database region, and the schema ID. And we probably want to do it in the table. Yeah. And in this case, we set up the server, whatever, which is fine. Server, schema, table. For our stuff here, if we change the server, like the ID number, couldn't we save changes if dirty? So go to definition, like we have editable, mark dirty, right? So we don't have regions set up for these ones yet. We have added, modified, deleted, added by username, modified by username, deleted by username, and then so we need a couple more regions set up in here, which is fine. But the tracking fields don't exactly have it, but we could say, like the moment we marked it dirty, we could say if tracking fields dot is dirty actions SQL Server actions, right? Do we have an actions thing in here? I don't think we do. So, but the actions class is the update method static? No, there's not. Oh no, that's not the update method. So we have add, delete, get, list, select, update here. And we simply pass it a record. So if we, inside here, we could say private actions, creation actions equals new actions, yes. Read only actions is a new actions, yes. Then when we change the SQL Server ID, then say actions, update interface creation, current record bm dot, no, this, wait, no, model shouldn't have actions inside of it. No, take that out. That uses traffic market 30 because the new view model would have an actions. Yes. Yeah, this one has an actions on it. We have the current record, server actions, database actions. These are the regular actions. Yeah. So after we've changed the selection, right? So, because this is the view model. List SQL databases. So yeah, then we should be able to do like vm.actions.update vm.current record. Those are templates. Template actions. So we need interface creation actions. Okay. So this means we've changed the selection inside of the SQL Server. And essentially, if it is loaded, if it's not loaded, it's going to return. But if it is loaded, we're going to change the list of databases presented, and we should be able to save the value, right? So we're going to continue. So we'll go here, the table, we have a server. No changes were detected to be saved. Okay, that's obnoxious. But it's saying no changes were detected, which means the selection of it wasn't marking it. So if we went to our new page here, we have our selected value path, current record, SQL Server ID, right? Go to definition, SQL Server ID says mark dirty. Is it loaded? Essentially. So put that break there, refresh that, loaded and editable. And we go here, loaded as false, editable as false. We're going to continue. And we pick one, loaded as false, editable as still false. Okay, which is why we're not getting any changes. So when the new pops up and we get it to appear the first time, yeah. So our page loaded event, go to detail, page loaded, which is this, which then would be current record dot tracking fields is loaded is true via current record dot tracking fields dot make record editable. Okay. Load the form, we say it's loaded, we say it's editable. Now we continue. New. False and false, continue. Alright. Got these. Now it's true and true. Continue. Right, now we have a syntax error, which gets us further. So we'll say debug step out. Okay, debug step out. Okay, most likely it's in the set variables. This says the update statement, but then it has the comma on the wrong side. it has a comma find set, but it doesn't need that comma because it just says update T interface creation set. But I think oh, is null or empty does not equal false. Thus, record modified is the field. But it's not. I don't think it's putting those in there because it's not evaluating them as is null or empty. So it's not null or empty, right? So we're basically saying, hey, if this is null or empty, go here. But then we're saying if it's not false, go here. And unsave changes detected. Yeah. Stop that again. All right, so go to here. And before we open the connection, because we don't know that we need the, I think the commas have to end up on the other side without the comma on the last one. Because the update SQLite statement, which is in here, this should be taking the record modified timestamp field and finding it. So whereas a if is null or empty, is false, is false. Okay, so we'll have to double check the syntax on the other ones that follow that same theory. So we'll take this break off because we don't need it. Continue. Table, select the server. Okay, so record modified. So now it actually gets into here. I'm going to say this field equals current timestamp. I'm going to say this field equals record modified username. Exception caught. What's the exception? Insufficient parameters supplied to the command. Really? Well, that's modified by username. Okay. Yeah, server database schema table. Server database schema table. Okay. That work. Well, I had an error that time. Cool. So it says 11, and if we'd have to go back somehow. So we close it. We go to history. Number 11 has a server. Saved. Awesome. So then this one needs to have its order first. And we can probably simplify the dates. But I think that makes some sense. Okay. Got the server. Out. Continue. Okay. Got the database. It says unsave changes. You can hit save. It doesn't seem to do anything. So we're going to find out why. Button edit. This is button save. It doesn't have click event. So name, button, save. Like, okay. Definition, VM, save, record, save. How would do it? Why it didn't have that, I don't really know, but let's find other buttons with the same problem. Save, so that one has a click event. This one has a click event. This one has a click event. This one has a click event. Okay. So, yeah, this one actually just has this saying v actions update record, but we can do vm save record, which is what it's meant there to be there for. Because then we can do actions dot update template current record. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's close all tabs, save. See if we can get somewhere we can actually use this. So we have a new one, table, pick a server, we'll pick a database. We can pick a schema. The schema names aren't coming up. Okay, I was trying to show databases instead of schemas. So that's a whole different problem. The labels aren't even spaced out right. So we will close, close. Let's go to here. Okay. So label for schema does not work. We're going to set the style input control. Yeah. And actually, it should be labeled required instead, which is fine. This one, same deal. Required, like that. Very good. And then server, obviously the same thing. Input required. Okay. So we have server, database, schema. The schema dropdown has the item sources SQL databases, which we would then need to be SQL schemas list. And if we wanted to just show stuff like we did the database, then we would probably want to grab everything that's in it right here, and we can remove the duplicate style, the duplicate item source. Okay. And in this case, it is going to be connected to combo SQL database, right? Display member path, SQL schema, schema name, that. Okay. SQL schema ID, that. SQL schema ID, that. Okay. It needs a name, which name combo SQL schema. Okay. Selection changed. We can then do schema selection changed. Definition, we have to do the same thing, kind of. Same thing as here. Okay. And then we have SQL database selection changed, which then we want to populate or get the list of servers. So in here, you say list databases and actions update the record. Databases would list the schemas and update the record. Okay, so we picked our database, list schemas. Okay, and we have nothing there. So inside of list SQL databases, we go do something, right? In this case, we're going to say SQL databases list. Okay, it's going to be equal to SQL schemas list. SQL databases actions list SQL database. Wait, what? No, that's typed exactly how it is above it. So that's not what I want. No. So we're just going to swap the word database. Database with the word schema within the current selection. No, not the current document, the current selection. Okay, so go to the definition. We have SQL database actions. We need another actions for schemas. Okay, SQL schema actions. Schema actions. There we go. Save. Okay. List SQL schema to definition. So in this case, we have a list of schemas. Okay. But the question is, how are we filtering the schemas? Because it's going to give us all the schemas for every database. That's not what we want. So we can overload the list command and give it a filter. Yeah. Just like when we did list database, list SQL database here. Okay. This actually should have a server. Okay. Say current record SQL Server, like that. This would get you the correct databases, but since we didn't have more than one server on the test yet, we weren't getting results. Check my phone quick. Okay. Alright. So that works. And since we're going to overload this, the same way we're going to overload that, we can use this as an example. So in this case, we copy it and go to the schema definition. Did we actually overload that, or did we just we just have the one? Just have the one. So schema, go to definition. We can then do SQL database model parent SQL database. Okay. Okay. Put that as not a parent SQL database. All right. And if we went to our other actions, which all right, so we have this one. We do our not our declaration, but our set statement, which is here. We can then do side by side. this. And in this case, we basically say after we've done the select statement, which is here, parent SQL database does not equal null, then SQL database ID equals SQL database ID. Okay. And that means down in the perform actions section, we'll find about that we actually have a where statement. So if, yep, start up before execute reader here, we have this if statement. So if parent SQL database is not null, okay, then we would say SQL database ID equals SQL database ID. Okay, seems to be that. So we have the schema, added the modified the schema name. I think the schema table had a description. Yep, we do. We have schema name and description. We don't necessarily need it for this, but we have the where clause, not least some database ID. Yeah. Okay. We have our one reference to list SQL schema, where we can then say current record dot SQL database. That would get us our schema list based on the function and our filter. Okay, those all filters. Save. Open again. Let's make sure this works. Datum, servers. Let's add another server. Server 2. No, not 22, just 2. Continue. All right, server 2. Now, it means when we do our interface creation, we pick server 2, we get no databases. Pick server 1, no changes. Really? Right. So we're telling it to update, right? Something to change. So if the server changed on the current record, you have to mark it. Interface creation model. Yeah. So we have the mark dirty statement here. If the server is changed, right? So if the value is not null and the value does not equal SQL Server, okay. So if the value equals null, but the value is not equal null, SQL Server. Yeah, I mean, just change it then, I assume. So this should equal this. that should automatically be in here to where we says if SQL Server does not equal value, that would only mark sturdy if something changes. So let's refresh that, make sure that we're getting it marked. So here we change the server ID. Yeah, marks it dirty. I switch to a different server. Yeah, marks it dirty. But now it says there's no changes to be found. Really? Pause. Step out. Out. So this is now saying its server ID is 1. That should be server ID number 2. This is number 2. Okay, so server ID number 2 is now there. And then this should be server ID number 1. So I mean that just seems to work then. So if we switch it one way or switch it the other, that works. We don't have any databases on either side. Oh, we do have a database in this one. If we pick one of those, between the two of one of those, each time that fires, it should be, okay, makes sense.